Hey guys, you know, I thought about doing this. Um, I thought about doing this on camera, but I also figured it really wouldn't matter if I did it on camera or as an audio video. So I've decided to go the audio video route, and quite honestly, it doesn't matter. Like I said, it doesn't matter how I was going to do it because pretty much what I'm going to say is what I'm going to say. And here's the thing. I talked about All in the video I did where I talked about the trailers for Lucha Underground Season 4 and the Death of Superman animated film coming out later this year by DC Original Movies, DC Original Animated Films. And the last thing I talked about was All In. And while I talked about it and I've thought about it throughout the day today, even during work, I thought to myself, maybe I need to do a single video, a solitary video on All In, because I know that even though some people may not think my opinion matters, at least I want to come out as a wrestling fan, because I've been a wrestling fan for over 30 years, and kind of give my general consensus on what I feel All In is going to be like. And to me, first of all, like I said in the video, I have to give it up for Cody, the Young Bucks, and overall the Bullet Club for selling out the event the way they did, for hyping and building up this event, hyping it up to what they want it to be, and succeeding in taking that first step and not only securing a location like the Sears Center on the outer regions of Chicago, but also being able to sell it out within the first 30 minutes of ticket sales on the day of launch. So a lot of congratulations to them. But I know there are those out there, like let's say the Schleg Daddy, Jeff Siegel, at OTR Central, that are skeptical about this whole tickets selling out within 30 minutes kind of old deal. He's kind of skeptical about it because, of course, excuse me. Of course, in case you guys don't know, Jeff has had his problems with Cody online. He's had his problems with Cody Rhodes online. And pretty much, the problems he's had with Cody online is the fact that he feels Cody is a hypocrite. It's like Cody says one thing, but then suddenly he backpedals on what he said before and says something different. So for Jeff, he finds it hard to believe that an event that's sponsored by Cody and the Young Bucks and overall the Bullet Club could sell out as quickly as it did. Jeff finds it skeptical, the Schleg Daddy that is, finds it skeptical that could happen and feels that there is more to it. Like maybe what's really going on in the Schleg Daddy's mind is perhaps some of those 10,000 tickets that sold out were actually bought by Cody and the Young Bucks themselves, and they're going to give them away for free. Or they just bought them up to give them away to family and friends to make it look like, hey, look, we sold out the event. So, honestly, you can't really blame Jeff for feeling that way. When you look back at his history with Cody Rhodes, you can't really blame Jeff, like I said, for feeling that way. But I will say this, despite how you may feel, if you agree with Jeff Siegel, the Schleg Daddy, and you believe that there's something up with, and you feel that there's something up with all of a sudden all these tickets for this event, this big independent wrestling event, has just suddenly sold out within a half hour. If you feel the same way, then you have a right to your opinion, because despite the fact that independent wrestling over the past several years has been on a resurgence, and a lot of top stars on the indie circuit have been signed by either WWE, Impact Wrestling, or maybe even ROH, or even New Japan, people will come out and say that despite independent wrestling being on a resurgence right now, being a hot commodity, especially along with some of these big names, semi-big if not big names on the market, people will come out and say that it's not as hot of a commodity as you think it is, and there's no way something like this can sell out in a venue like the Sears Center within 30 minutes. Just drinking me some Sierra Twist there. But yeah, it's like some people will become skeptical about that, and some, like Jeff, will say that, hey, independent wrestling, like I mentioned, is a hot commodity right now, but it's not hot enough to the point that even a Bullet Club sanctioned event is going to sell out the way it does. I mean, the Slag Daddy did a video where he talked about New Japan Pro Wrestling, which is on a hot streak right now, has a lot of momentum behind it. They have not yet sold out the Cow Palace for the second year doing the G1 in the USA event. They have not sold out the Cow Palace, the way they thought they would, like they did last year with Long Beach, or earlier this year with Long Beach. Excuse me. So, when Jeff points that out, and even though he compares the fact that All In is probably going to sell out faster than what New Japan's trying to do, he's basically saying right then and there that New Japan may be a hot commodity, may be on a huge momentum streak right now, but even they cannot sell out a venue. Despite the hot streak they're on, even they, despite promoting and all that, cannot sell out something like the Cow Palace because, one, not many people probably know who some of those stars are, and secondly, to a lot of people that may be wrestling fans around this Northern California area, still look at New Japan as an international independent wrestling promotion. Sorry, again, like I said, drinking some Sierra Twist. But yeah, some people will believe that. Some people will feel that way. And that's why perhaps New Japan hasn't sold out the Cow Palace like they wanted to. Inevitably, they probably will. But the reason they haven't done it initially is because, one, not a lot of people probably know who these stars are. And two, even if they do, some people still look at New Japan as an independent wrestling promotion, but on a more international level. Which is why, again, you take a look at people like Jeff, and they're kind of skeptical about the tickets selling out as fast as they did for All In. But, getting onto the topic of All In, despite whether you believe tickets sold out as fast as they did or you don't, All In, when I look at this title, is not just a title of a wrestling event. All In, to me, has a significant meaning to all people, all men and women involved. Why? Because it's basically all or nothing for every single man and woman involved in this event. It is basically all or nothing for every fan of every hardcore fan of independent wrestling. It is basically all or nothing, mostly, for the Bullet Club and this resurgence of independent wrestling as a whole. Because if it succeeds beyond expectations, then not only will it be the dawn and a rebirth and a resurgence for the Bullet Club as a whole itself, as a faction and a franchise, but it will show that independent wrestling is indeed the place to be, and it's going to probably make companies, this would be the hope of a lot of people, it's probably going to make companies like Impact, like Ring of Honor, like WWE, CZW and all of them, possibly in some shape or form, change their game, change their outlook. That is what All In is for the Bullet Club and independent wrestling in general, and all those men and women that enjoy the freedom that they have being on the independent wrestling circuit. But that's not all. You see, that's the positives of whether or not that's that there is the positive outlook of what could be if All In is a huge success and succeeds expectations. However, on the other side of the coin, All In could be a cluster you-know-what, and it could turn out to be not the wrestling boom that people have said wrestling has been looking forward to, that next wrestling boom, that like I said, some people have said wrestling is heading towards, that new rebirth, that reboot, redawn, resurgence. But instead, it could end up being the wrestling bomb that spells the end or the downfall of not just the Bullet Club, but it basically could spell the extinction of this resurgence in independent wrestling. Because this here, like I said, the name All In is not just the name of a wrestling event. The name All In is basically significant overall and in general of the success of this event and the success it's going to, or should I say, basically the title is basically significant of saying it's all or nothing. It's either succeed or fail. And if they go the failure route, sorry about that there. If they go the failure route, they are pretty much, I'm going to put it this way. Like I said, if they succeed, not only will it spell a resurgence for independent wrestling, not only will it spell a resurgence for the Bullet Club, and show that both the Bullet Club and independent wrestling are the places to be right here and now, but it will, no doubt in my mind, possibly cause companies like Impact, Ring of Honor, CZW, and mostly the WWE to change up the game in some shape or form. That's if they succeed. But as I'm trying to point out and say, if you look at the other side of the coin, there's a possibility of failure. Because like I was trying to say, a lot of people have said that wrestling is inevitably going to hit that next wrestling boom that is necessary to make it a hot commodity again. But, and what I'm trying to say is, and that wrestling boom could happen with All In. However, All In could also initiate a wrestling bomb. All In, instead of being a raging success and a resurgence, could be an overall cluster you-know-what. It could be a mess from top to bottom. And the end result could be something that not only causes, in reality, the downfall of one of the hottest factions in wrestling today, the Bullet Club, but it could also, in reality, cause the downfall and the destruction of the resurgence that independent wrestling is going on right now. It could put a halt to that resurgence. It could extinguish that fire that independent wrestling has going right now. All like that, if All In doesn't succeed. And if that happens, you know damn well, excuse my language, God, but you know damn well people like Vince McMahon in the WWE, Ed Norham in Impact Wrestling and Anthem Sports, the people in charge of Ring of Honor, Sinclair Broadcasting, Billy Corgan in the NWA, and many people that are kind of like, okay, let's see what happens here. If this fails, if All In fails, they're going to point the fingers at the people responsible for being involved in this, the men and the women that agreed to appear and compete, as well as mostly the people in charge of putting it together, and that being the Bullet Club. And they're going to say, the first thing coming out of their mouth will be, Basically the same words across the board. We told you couldn't do it. We told you weren't as hard as you thought you were. We told you were nothing without us. I mean, why do you think rumors going around right now that WWE wants Cody and the Young Bucks? They want Cody Rhodes back, and they finally want to bring in the Young Bucks. Because they do see the hot commodity that they are right now, but they also see the potential of failure for this event. And you can't tell me Vince McMahon doesn't want to be the first to look Cody in the eyes and go like, I told you were not going to be a success without us, Cody, and now that you're back at WWE, you'll be Stardust once again. Or whatever they're going to put him in. You can't tell me Vince McMahon doesn't want the opportunity to do something similar like that, or at least be in control of what happens with the Bullet Club, or mostly Cody and the Young Bucks, from then on in. You can't tell me that, because he does. The same with Billy Corgan. The same with Ed Norham. The same with Sinclair Broadcasting. You know, all of them, like I said, will be saying similar things like what Vince McMahon would probably say. That they basically knew Cody and the Young Bucks and the Bullet Club couldn't pull this off without a hitch. That they would fail at doing so. And that's why the significance of All In is not just the title of the wrestling event itself, but it's the significance of the fact that this is all or nothing. This is either going to make or break the Bullet Club as a faction and a franchise overall, and it's either going to make or break that hot resurgence that independent wrestling has been experiencing over the past couple of years. It's either going to make or break that as well. So all I could say about All In is I wish Cody, I wish the Young Bucks, I wish Marty Scurll, I wish Kenny Omega, I wish Rey Mysterio, Tisha Blanchard, everybody involved, Okada, anybody involved with this event, I wish you guys nothing but success and luck. I wish you nothing but luck and hopefully success in the long run. Because this is either, like I said, going to make or break the Bullet Club, and as far as independent wrestling goes, it's either going to make or break it as well. It is. And you know what? Hopefully we get an announcement, hopefully to show that they are truly serious about this event. Hopefully we get an announcement soon of how those that have not been able, that were not able to purchase the tickets to be there live, how they're going to be able to watch it when it happens. Hopefully we'll get some kind of answer from Cody and the Young Bucks that Twitch is going to be involved, or Fight TV, or pay-per-view itself, or something. Because if this event is going to be as big of a deal, sorry, I'm just looking at my mom's bird here. But if this event is going to be as big of a deal as you're hyping it up to be, and you're getting all the star power, then you're going to need to make sure you find a way for everyone around the world to see this. And by doing so, that will overall, along with those in attendance, live in attendance, that along with those live in attendance will be the judging factor on whether or not you succeed or fail as well. But again, I wish nothing but the best to Cody, the Young Bucks, Marty Scurll, Tisha Blanchard, Kenny Omega, Rey Mysterio, all of them, Okada, all of them involved, and many others probably to be involved. I wish you guys nothing but the best of luck. I really do. I really do wish you nothing but the best of luck, because it's either make or break time come September. And if you make it, you prove to everyone that Bullet Club's still the hottest thing going today, and the independent wrestling is still as hot as it's going to be, and it's probably going to be bigger than maybe WWE, or it's either going to break you, and it's going to prove everybody that you worked for in the past correct. That people like you can put something like this on no matter what. can't put something like this on, and that you're not as big of a deal as you think you are. So, again, I wish nothing but the best to these guys. I really do. So, but overall, those are my thoughts on All In. To me, the title is not just a title of a wrestling event. It's a overall reality that it's all or nothing for these men and women involved. So, and it's all or nothing for the Bullet Club and overall independent wrestling as a whole. So, that's all I'm going to say, folks. Let me know what you think down below. Comment if you like. I am out. God bless. Take care. And again, I wish people involved at All In nothing but luck.